Okay, quick demo of my green Jazzmaster project. Mahogany body, MJT finish, metallic candy green, Spitfire green tortoise pickguard. Put Gibson knobs on it because it originally had P90s, but I had to take those out because I couldn't get them in the body the right depth. The strings kept hitting the pull pieces, so I put in, I believe they're Antiquity 1 Jazzmaster by Seymour Duncan. The wiring is a little different because I anticipated P90s. There's 500K pots instead of the normal 1 meg, except up in the upper part here, the lead section is normal Jazzmaster 1 meg and 50K. Switchcraft toggle, I think. All the parts, normal stuff that you'd put in there. It does have a classic player tremolo because I like the screw-in arm. And then all parts neck with my decal that came off. Standard, Godo, or no, I forget what these ones are. Kluson tuners. I normally do Godos, so I'm kind of used to that. Tusk nut. I did all the finish work on the neck, so it looks kind of dirty and gross, but it's nice and smooth. Same with like the fingerboard. Kind of has a grungy look to it to kind of go with the look of the body. Anyway, it's my first in-person experience with Antiquity 1s. I think on the bottom it said SJ1, Seymour Duncan SJ1, which I think are the Antiquity 1s, or just Antiquity pickups. I don't know. But that's the sticker on the bottom. I got the set pretty cheap and was going to put them in a different project, and then the P90s from Mojotone wouldn't fit in my body, so I went ahead. Because now, like if you look at it, you get the normal kind of spacing where the bridge is a little bit closer, so that way the middle position isn't too muddy, and the neck is about flush with the pickguard as far as where the plastic is. The bridge is a little bit higher, but the pull pieces definitely have room where they're not going to hit the strings even up here on the top if I'm fretting at the highest point, where with the Mojotones, when I was at the 12th fret, it would hit the pull pieces even without any foam underneath them because the screws on the bottom stuck down so far. Anyway, I did the normal tuning where you tune it, you use a tremolo more so than you would normally, like abuse it, then tune it again, and you keep doing that until it holds tune, and then you should be able to do the easy, like the subtle stuff without it going out of tune. That's the middle position, by the way. Bridge. Let's see, I already did middle. Middle's noise canceling, that's why that little bit of buzz goes away. The neck pick alone. upper circuit, the jazz circuit. So that's with my normal settings through my Marshall clone head, 4-circuit, four-hole circuit clone. Somebody asked me on the forum with my other build, my black one, why do I like the 2s more than the 1s? And I'd actually never used a 1 in person. I just listened to demos. And this kind of confirmed it. I like these pickups fine. They're totally okay, but they have a different feel to them. The Antiquity 2s have more bass. They're a little bit thicker sounding. These are a little bit more thin. Like the treble, the bridge pickup, if I wasn't using 500K pots, would probably be too shrill for me to want to use by itself. Middle position is totally okay. I like the middle position. Oh, that was the neck. Here we go, middle position. But the middle position on this sounds like the bridge position of the Antiquity 2. So it's almost like this alone, or the neck pickup almost sounds kind of like the middle position of that one. So if you like brighter sounding guitars, like more trebly, then the Antiquity ones are probably the ones that you like, because this is with 500K pots and it's already kind of almost too bright for me. It's totally usable, especially if you're using distortion and overdrive and stuff, and you can always change your amp settings around to give it more bass. But I haven't messed with it since I used the black one, so it gives a kind of a more apples to oranges, apples to apples, I guess, comparing the two different pickups to each other with the same kind of settings, same gauge strings. Someone asked about the Mastery tremolo also. The main difference I noticed when using the tremolo is that it doesn't move in the collet. But again, this is a classic player one. This is a screw-in one, so there's going to be a little bit of a play. But if I tighten it down, maybe it would be less of that. It's not a huge deal, 'cause it's not like you hear it. It still works. It's just a little detail. And also the spring on this is a lot stiffer than the Mastery one. The Mastery one travels really smooth back and forth. I'm not saying that it's going from like $40 to $200 difference, but there is a difference. It's just subtle. The AVRI, the American tremolos I've had, are fine. I just don't like that as you use it, the arm sometimes will get loose in them and fall out. Or I've had some where I've pushed it in one of the teeth that holds it in broke off, and I don't want to have to take the tremolo off to crimp it down more or bend the arm to get it to stick in more. I just kind of like the either pop-in method like Stay Trem has, or the screw-in method, or Mastery's method, where the arm is stuck in there. It's not, even if I made it super loose, it's not going to fall off. It's screwed in there. And there's a spring inside there too, just like sometimes people do with Strats to keep the tension. So when you're moving the guitar around, the arm isn't flopping all over the place. Anyway, those are just some little details. I think it turned out pretty well. I know that when they're this type of relic, where it's a pretty extreme relic, that it's not everybody's cup of tea. But I actually think it turned out really nice. And I agree with some of the people who, when I got upset because when I was drilling this string tree, I put a piece of tape down to mark the hole. And then when I pulled the tape up, it pulled my decal off. Which I'd never had happen before, because I put a little bit of clear over it to protect it anyways, but I guess I didn't do enough. But it kind of actually fits how, kind of abused looking this guitar is, even though it's new. it kind of looks a lot like some of the old Fenders where the decal's missing in places. So I guess that kind of makes it look a little bit more authentic. The backplate again has Kermit the Frog. I have Stargazer as the title because this was kind of, since it's all green, I figured Kermit in the swamp is a pretty good, and mahogany. Um, the kind of brown it's got there kind of looks like mud. That it seemed like kind of a swampy looking guitar. And I wanted to do a maple neck just for something a little different and something that I could make look a little bit more dirty, to go with how relict the body is. So that's the demo, and probably more information than anybody wanted. But there were some things in there that I remember in the forums that people had asked about, and I figured I'd comment on it. The Antiquity ones, the tremolo system. Oh, and Mastery bridges. I don't have any problem at all with Mustang ones. This one's got a Mustang style bridge, just a generic import Mustang bridge. They work totally okay. I know that there are some people that play really aggressive and really hard, and they like the Mastery bridges because the bigger kind of cavity for the strings to sit in, you're not going to be able to knock those out. It's, you know, the strings sit in lower than the thickness of the string, so it's such a deep groove, you're not going to be able to knock them out. And there is something to be said about locking this in place, although since mine is as low as it is, it doesn't really move that much anyway. Some people shim their necks. I only do that if I can't get it to intonate correctly, or if there's a weird sound. Sometimes things will sound funky in the upper parts, and shimming it and raising the bridge helps. When I had this shimmed, actually my E string was having this weird tinny effect that was fixed when I took the shims out. Now that there's no shims, it doesn't. It rings normally. It had a weird buzz before that seems to be fixed by taking the shims out. Because I didn't really do anything else to the neck anyway. I just took the shims out and put it back on. And these are the same strings I had on before. I just put pieces of tape on the end so they wouldn't get stuck together. So anyway, it's fun experimenting. I've got strap locks, the dual design ones, so you can use them with regular straps, or you can use them with the strap locks. I dropped a $900 bass when I was practicing over 10 years ago, and since then I've wanted strap locks on everything, because I don't care if it's a $100 guitar, $50 guitar, or $2,000 guitar. I don't want it to fall on the ground while I'm playing. Or if I have it on my body, I want to know it's going to stay there and not just like have it just drop off and hit the ground. Anyway, that's the guitar. Hopefully you like the demo.